Ladies and gentlemen, respect is not something you can demand outright. It is something you cultivate through your actions, your mindset, and your self-perception. The foundation of being treated with respect is rooted in how you treat yourself. This doesn't mean arrogance or self-absorption, but rather developing a deep understanding of your value and showing off and interact with the world. When you respect yourself, you acknowledge your worth and act accordingly. This begins with self-awareness. Take time to reflect on your strengths, your values, and your boundaries. Know what matters to you and why it matters. The process of self-respect involves prioritizing your physical, emotional, and mental well-being. Are you taking care of your body? Are you nurturing your mind with growth and learning? Are you setting aside time to rest and recharge? Respecting yourself means addressing these questions honestly and making choices that align with your values and priorities. In relationships, the way you respect yourself sets the tone for how others treat you. If you allow others to cross your boundaries, neglect your needs, or disregard your feelings, you're unintentionally signaling that you do not value yourself. People take cues from your actions, and when you hold yourself in high regard, others will often follow suit. That doesn't mean every interaction will be perfect. There will always be those who fail to appreciate your worth. But your self-respect creates a filter through which you can identify who is worth your time and energy. Self-respect also shows up in the standards you set for yourself. It's not just about how others perceive you, it's about how you perceive yourself. Do you follow through on your commitments? Do you hold yourself accountable when you fall short? These actions communicate to yourself that you are someone who is dependable, disciplined, and worthy of trust. Over time, this inner confidence radiates outward, and people are naturally drawn to those who exude such grounded self-assurance. The connection between self-respect and outward respect becomes even clearer when you think about the type of people you admire. Those individuals likely possess a quiet confidence, a clear understanding of their values, and a sense of self-worth that doesn't rely on external validation. They don't need to assert themselves aggressively to be noticed because their actions and demeanor speak for them. To command respect by first respecting yourself also requires saying no when necessary. If you're constantly saying yes to please others or avoid conflict, you're not respecting your own time and energy. Saying no is not selfish. It is a powerful affirmation of your priorities and boundaries. It's a reminder that your time and efforts are valuable, and you won't squander them on things that don't align with your goals or values. Ultimately, self-respect is a practice, something you work on daily by making choices that honor your worth. When you do this consistently, others will not only notice, but will also mirror that respect back to you. In a world full of societal pressures, trends, and expectations, valuing your individuality and authenticity becomes an act of courage. It's a declaration that you refuse to mold yourself into someone else's idea of perfection. Instead, you embrace who you truly are, flaws, strengths, quirks, and all. When you value your individuality, you unlock the key to building genuine relationships where people are drawn to you not for what you pretend to be, but for who you are. Authenticity begins with self-awareness. This requires looking inward and understanding your unique traits, passions, and values. What excites you? What makes you feel alive? What are the principles you hold dear, the lines you won't cross, and the dreams you won't give up on? When you can answer these questions honestly, you begin to see the contours of your true self. This clarity makes you confident and magnetic because there's no substitute for the energy of someone living in alignment with their authenticity. Valuing your individuality also means letting go of the need for external validation. It's easy to fall into the trap of seeking approval, modifying your behavior, appearance, or opinions to fit in or be liked. But this is a losing game. The more you dilute your identity to please others, the more you lose touch with your inner self. And ironically, people are most drawn to those who have the courage to be themselves. There's an undeniable power in being unapologetically you. When you own your individuality, you attract the right kind of attention. Those who see you for who you are and appreciate you on a deep level will gravitate toward you. The people who try to force you into a box or criticize you for being different reveal themselves as unworthy of your time and energy. By staying true to yourself, you create a filter that naturally separates genuine connections from superficial ones. Your authenticity is also your greatest asset when facing challenges or adversity. Pretending to be someone you're not is exhausting and unsustainable, especially when life tests your resilience. But when you're grounded in who you are, you find strength in your values and consistency in your actions. You know where you stand, and this clarity enables you to face difficulties with integrity and grace. Valuing your individuality doesn't mean rejecting growth or feedback. It's not an excuse to be rigid or unwilling to change. Rather, it's about distinguishing between constructive input that helps you evolve and external pressures that push you away from your core self. True growth comes from a place of authenticity, not from conforming to arbitrary standards. Ultimately, when you value your individuality, you inspire others to do the same. Your authenticity becomes a beacon, encouraging those around you to embrace their true selves. This creates a ripple effect of self-acceptance and empowerment, strengthening not only your relationships, but also your community. By valuing who you are, you set a standard for how others should treat you and help build a world where authenticity is celebrated. Self-respect is the foundation of how you navigate the world, how you perceive yourself, and how others treat you. It is not arrogance or a sense of superiority, but a quiet confidence that comes from knowing your worth and refusing to settle for less. When you cultivate self-respect, you set a standard for your life that others must meet, and in doing so, you command respect from those around you. Cultivating self-respect starts with self-awareness. You must first recognize your inherent value, separate from your achievements, possessions, or external validation. This value is intrinsic. It doesn't waver based on someone else's opinion or your temporary circumstances. Recognizing this truth allows you to establish boundaries that protect your peace and ensure your well-being. Boundaries are not walls. They are guidelines that communicate what you will and will not tolerate. When you uphold these boundaries, you reinforce your self-respect. Self-respect also means being accountable to yourself. It's about holding yourself to the same high standards you expect from others. This involves living in alignment with your values, acting with integrity, and making decisions that reflect your principles. When you act in ways that honor your beliefs, you strengthen your sense of self and reinforce your own dignity. Conversely, compromising your values for short-term gains or to please others erodes your self-respect over time. Another critical aspect of self-respect is learning to say no. This simple, yet powerful word is often the hardest to use. However, every time you say no to something that doesn't serve you, you are saying yes to yourself. You are affirming that your time, energy, and emotions are valuable and should not be squandered on things or people that do not align with your best interests. It's not selfish, it's necessary. Self-respect also involves self-care. This is not limited to physical health, though that is essential, but extends to your mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being. Taking time to rest, reflect, and recharge is a testament to the value you place on yourself. It also means addressing negative self-talk and replacing it with words of encouragement and affirmation. The way you speak to yourself sets the tone for how others will treat you. Building self-respect takes time and consistent effort. It often requires making difficult decisions, like walking away from situations or relationships that undermine your sense of self-worth. It may involve stepping out of your comfort zone to pursue goals that align with your authentic self, even when the path is uncertain. Each of these choices reinforces your respect for yourself and teaches others how to respect you in return. When you have unwavering self-respect, you exude a quiet confidence that is undeniable. This energy is magnetic, and it draws people who value and appreciate you for who you are. You no longer seek approval because you already have the most important endorsement, your own. In this way, self-respect becomes both a shield and a guide, protecting you from harm and leading you toward the life you deserve. One of the most empowering truths you can realize is that your individuality, those traits and qualities that make you uniquely you, is not a flaw to be hidden, but a strength to be celebrated. In a world that often pressures us to conform, to fit into predefined molds, embracing your individuality is a radical act of self-love and an assertion of your worth. It's this authenticity that sets you apart and commands respect, admiration, and appreciation from those who truly see you. Your individuality starts with self-awareness. Take time to explore what makes you unique. What are your values, passions, talents, and quirks? These are not random traits, but integral parts of who you are. When you understand and embrace these aspects of yourself, you cultivate a stronger sense of identity. This clarity allows you to navigate life with purpose and confidence because you're no longer trying to meet external expectations. You're living in alignment with your true self. Authenticity is a powerful force. When you are unapologetically yourself, you inspire others to do the same. You become a beacon of confidence and self-assurance, showing that it's not only acceptable, but empowering to be different. This authenticity is magnetic. It attracts people who value you for who you are, not who they want you to be. Conversely, it repels those who seek to diminish your individuality or force you into conformity. This is a blessing, as it naturally filters out relationships and opportunities that do not align with your true self. Embracing your individuality also means resisting the urge to compare yourself to others. Comparison is a thief of joy and a detractor from self-worth. When you focus on what others have or what they're doing, you lose sight of your unique path and in the qualities that make you special. Instead of comparing, celebrate your differences. Recognize that your journey is your own and that your individuality is your superpower. This journey requires courage because standing out often comes with challenges. Society can be quick to judge what it doesn't understand, and people may criticize or misunderstand you. But remember, the people who truly matter, those who will uplift and support you, will appreciate your authenticity. Moreover, those who mock or belittle your individuality often do so out of their own insecurities or inability to embrace their true selves. to embrace your individuality fully. Take action that reflects your authenticity. Pursue your passions, even if they're unconventional. Wear what makes you feel confident, even if it's not trendy. Speak your truth, even if your voice shakes. Every action that aligns with your authentic self reinforces your individuality and empowers you to live a life that is truly your own. Ultimately, your individuality is your greatest asset. It's the combination of your experiences, thoughts, and qualities that no one else can replicate. When you embrace this uniqueness, you not only enrich your own life, but also contribute something irreplaceable to the world. By celebrating who you are, you set a standard for how others should treat you with respect, admiration, and acceptance. High standards and clear boundaries are two of the most vital tools in ensuring that others treat you with the respect and admiration you deserve. They are not just markers of self-respect. They are the foundation upon which healthy relationships, personal growth, and fulfillment are built. When you cultivate and uphold these principles, you establish a powerful dynamic one that invites admiration and sets the tone for how others interact with you. To cultivate high standards, begin with a deep understanding of your worth. High standards are not about arrogance or entitlement. They are about recognizing the value you bring to the table and refusing to settle for anything less than what aligns with your dignity and aspirations. These standards apply across all aspects of life, relationships, work, friendships, and personal goals. They reflect your commitment to excellence, not only for yourself, but also for the people and situations you allow into your world. High standards are particularly significant in relationships. They shape the way others perceive and treat you. When you expect honesty, loyalty, and kindness, you send a clear message about what you will and will not tolerate. It's not about being inflexible or impossible to please, but about ensuring that the people in your life align with your values. High standards attract individuals who respect and appreciate you while discouraging those who seek to take advantage of or undermine you. Equally important are unwavering boundaries. Boundaries are not walls meant to isolate you, but guidelines that define how you wish to be treated. They are acts of self-love and respect, signaling to others what is acceptable and what is not. Without boundaries, you risk becoming a doormat, someone who others exploit, disrespect, or take for granted. Establishing boundaries allows you to protect your time, energy, and emotional well-being, ensuring that you are surrounded by positivity and support. Creating and maintaining boundaries requires clarity and consistency. Start by identifying your limits, what behaviors, actions, or situations you are unwilling to tolerate. Once these are defined, communicate them assertively but respectfully. For instance, if you value honesty in relationships, let it be known that deception is a deal breaker for you. If you need time for self-care, make it clear that this time is non-negotiable. Communicating boundaries firmly and calmly is key to ensuring they are respected. Boundaries and standards, however, are only as strong as your commitment to enforcing them. This means following through when they are violated. It might be uncomfortable at first, but enforcing boundaries is essential to maintaining your integrity and self-respect. When others see that you are serious about your standards, they are more likely to respect and honor them. By cultivating high standards and unwavering boundaries, you create a life that reflects your worth. You set the tone for how others treat you, ensuring that respect, admiration, and kindness are central to your interactions. Moreover, you inspire others to adopt similar principles, creating a ripple effect of empowerment and mutual respect in your relationships and beyond. Gratitude is a transformative force that has the power to change not only your perspective, but also how others perceive and treat you. When you approach life with a sense of appreciation for what you have, who you are, and the people around you, it creates an environment of positivity and mutual respect. This is one of the most compelling ways to inspire others to treat you with the dignity and honor you deserve. Gratitude begins with a mindset shift. Too often people focus on what they lack rather than what they have. They dwell on imperfections, comparing their lives to others, which breeds resentment and dissatisfaction. By practicing gratitude, you redirect your attention to the abundance in your life, no matter how small or significant it may be. This simple act of focusing on the positive fosters a sense of inner peace and self-confidence, which radiates outward and impacts your relationships. Appreciation also plays a key role in your interactions with others. Recognizing and valuing the contributions of those around you creates a culture of reciprocity. When you acknowledge someone's efforts, kindness, or talents, it not only uplifts them, but also encourages them to continue acting with generosity and respect. For example, thanking someone for their support or complimenting their strengths demonstrates that you see and value their presence. This can profoundly strengthen the bonds you share. Expressing gratitude is not about being overly effusive or insincere. It's about being genuine and intentional. People can sense authenticity. And when your appreciation comes from a place of sincerity, it carries weight. Start by actively noticing the positive qualities and actions of those in your life. Whether it's a friend who listens attentively, a colleague who goes the extra mile, or a partner who supports your dreams, let them know how much their actions mean to you. Equally important is showing gratitude toward yourself. Far too often, individuals neglect to appreciate their own efforts, resilience, and growth. Take time to recognize your achievements, no matter how minor they may seem. Celebrate your progress and be kind to yourself when you face setbacks. Self-gratitude builds confidence and self-respect, which in turn influences how others treat you. When you carry yourself with a sense of inner worth, people are more likely to mirror that sentiment in their interactions with you. Gratitude also creates a feedback loop. When you express appreciation, it inspires others to adopt the same behavior. They become more attuned to their own actions and those of others, fostering a collective atmosphere of respect and kindness. This doesn't mean you should tolerate mistreatment or lower your standards in the name of gratitude. Instead, it's about recognizing while maintaining clear boundaries. Ultimately, mastering the art of gratitude and appreciation is about shifting from a scarcity mindset to one of abundance. It's about recognizing that there is always something to be thankful for, even in challenging times. This perspective not only enriches your own life, but also encourages those around you to treat you like the queen. You are a person of dignity, grace, and unwavering self-respect.